Welcome to the Harry Dinger Show. I'm Harry Dinger. Today we have a white plantation owner and 3 of his slaves visiting the show. Please meet white plantation owner. How you doing? How you doing? Next up we have slave number 1.
Whoa! Sit down, boy.
How you doing?
Sit down, boy.
Next up, slave number 2.
Hello.
Take a seat. You can
Sit
sit
down, boy.
in the brown chair.
Sit.
And next up, who is not here today, he's busy doing his job, slave number 3. He'll be here tomorrow. This is the Harry Dinger Show. First off, how did you treat your slaves on your plantation?
Well, personally, I think I treat them nice. I mean, food,
That's good.
a little shelter,
That's what I like to
bed.
hear. What I like to
I
hear.
mean, I don't know if they complain or anything, but why would they? They get their own house.
That's a good
they have
point.
their own
They
personality.
don't have to pay for anything.
I know.
Now, slave 1, how do you feel you were treated on this
you see-
plantation?
Hey,
See,
if
you
you
see,
answer
the white man
correctly-
always trying to bring us down. They beating us. Look,
You want a
look, he's
whipping?
trying to whip me.
You want
I
a
don't
whipping?
see a whip. I don't see a whip.
This is not a whip.
What you talking about? It's got a
Slave
whip
2,
right there.
how do you feel you were treated on this said plantation? Did you teach him how to read and talk?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't think he knows that.
slave 1. Slave 1, what kind of stuff happened on this plantation?
Well, I get beat. I live
Hey.
in a shack. I get fed rice and grub.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, at least you're getting fed, you know? Hey,
They're being fed.
you don't know how to speak. Okay, well,
You're Chinese.
this is the example of the kind of house that slave 1 and slave 2 lives in.
Hey,
I think the
that's
slave owner is a piece of you-know-what. He does not tell the truth.
Oh, I tell the
a
truth.
piece of dookie.
Now let's bring up his house. Bring up the slave owner's house. Let's go. Let's get this picture up.
Say he's a piece of dookie.
See, he's a piece of dookie.
Look at that house.
Look at what
That is
he's
the best
living in
house.
that, and he gives the slaves such a bad house. Like that. Look at that. There's
That's a
holes
house,
in the
though.
roof. There's holes. That is
They
not a
got a
house.
place
That's a
to sleep.
tree.
They
That
got
is a
a
piece
place
of
to
wood
See, Master,
over
I
their
tell
head.
you. I
Hey.
tell you.
Hey.
You want to fight, Master?
Hey, whoa. Okay, we're gonna do a
I wanna
commercial
drink.
break so we can calm down. But we'll be back in a few minutes.
You know, FedEx gave us solutions for all our domestic shipping needs. Maybe we should go international.
Well, FedEx has been in China for over 20 years.
Hey, Bill, put a push pin in China. Bill, that's Russia. That's Greenland, Bill. You have no idea where China is, do you?
Whoa.
FedEx, shipping to over 200 cities in China.
Welcome back to the Harry Dinger Show. If you may have noticed, we changed clothes, but if you notice that, you're just crazy. But now we have a new guest coming onto the stage, slave number 3, who has just became free. Over here, slave number 3.
Hey, I'm free. All right.
Congratulations. Take a seat.
What up, homies? Give me 5.
Don't touch them. Don't touch them.
That's right.
Okay.
Slavery.
So, slave number 3, what's it like to be free?
I'll tell you what it's like to be free. It took a lot of work, okay? And you get up there, you're free in the north, and it's great. Except for, you know what? I don't have myself a woman. I don't. And you know what the problem with that is? I wanted to get married when I was a slave, but I didn't.
Why didn't you?
I did not get married because I knew that if we were to get married, more than likely we'd have children. And if we had children born into slavery, that would mean that they'd probably be sold to another family.
Oh, we don't want that.
No,
That's
our
not
family
a
would be
good
torn
thing.
apart, and I'd probably never see my kids again.
Well, it's a good thing that you didn't do that.
I know, I still haven't found anybody yet. It's very, very uncommon to see free slaves around this type of period.
Well, best of luck to you. You can go ahead and live with your free slave life now.
I love being
I
free.
will see you
I
later.
love being
Congratulations.
free. I'm gonna go get a job.
Sounds like you.
I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna start over. Get a good life. I'm gonna
Just
make
get
it-
out of here. Get out of here.
Get off me.
Well, that's nice, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Oh, we need a bouncer. Hi, we'll be back from a quick commercial break in a minute. This is the Harry Dinger Show.
The tank's empty. You gotta fill her up. I am a hungry man.
When you're a hungry man, you need a full pound of the kind of food that fills you up right.
Basically, I'm a bottomless pit. I am a hungry man.
It's good to be full.
Welcome back to the Harry Dinger Show. Well, that was a little violent thing going on there. You need to calm down.
Hey, shut up.
Now,
His fault.
White plantation
White
owner.
man's fault.
How was the white class divided in the
Well,
South?
it was divided into class and religion.
That's
The
nice.
the bigger your plantation or the more slaves you owned, the higher in the class you were.
That's nice.
And about 1/4 of the white American population owned slaves.
That's nice. That's very nice. Now, slave 1 and slave 2. What are the differences between a slave and a free one? What's the difference in like life?
Freedom.
Freedom.
There's definitely more to this than that.
Well, you see, we get beat every day, and we live in shacks.
By the white man.
Free slaves, they don't get beat every day, and they live in shacks.
So it's basically just you have more welts and bruises.
Yes.
So you're just the
And
free slaves are more.
You see, free
There's the bigger
slaves don't have much of a better life because they're still living in the South. They're still
They're just bigger.
Yes, they're bigger.
That's what I thought. Okay, well, we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Introducing the new Sicilian lasagna pizza from Pizza Hut. Hearty beef topping and a blend of mozzarella, creamy ricotta, and Parmesan cheese, all on a seasoned crust. It's just $10.99. Right now for just $5 more at any medium one-topping pizza.
Welcome back to the Harry Dinger Show. Now, I want to direct this question to the slaves only. What was the world of Southern blacks like?
It was hard labor. We lived on plantations and mines and all kinds of crazy places and did tough work.
We weren't even treated as people. We were counted as 3/5 of a person.
Well, it sounds like you guys are just again.
Well, it's not our fault we're We were taken from our homelands.
Mother Africa.
About how many of you were on plantations? Yeah, answer.
Oh, well, we usually lived on plantations with 20, 30 other slaves. There were only a few plantations that had
About 2.4% actually.
over 200 slaves.
Well, that's kind of depressing. 200 slaves. Cheap labor, that's what I like.
Yes.
So that's what he likes.
That's what I like.
I mean, we don't have it. I mean, you guys don't count as a person, obviously, so what's it matter? So, slaves, how did you guys survive with all that pressure and work that the white man gave you?
Well, the white man was trying to bring us down, so we formed together as a community of black slaves.
Is there a name for that? Do you guys name it?
We brought our own ethnicity to the table.
That's not what I asked. Do you have a name for that?
No.
Well, we'll call it psychic survival. But, yeah, he's not too bright. For this segment, I'm going to ask the white plantation owner if you could please step to the back.
Okay, see you in a little bit.
See, don't break anything. I don't trust you or anything.
I'm trying not to.
Don't break anything. Please don't break it. Okay, now, I want to ask you guys some questions. Is that okay?
Oh, the white man's always trying to bring us down.
Shut up. So, where did the majority of the southern slaves work?
On the plantation, of course.
So where'd the rest of them go? I mean, not everyone worked on the plantation.
Well, some of us worked in mines, and some of us worked on building things, and others of us, we worked in factories.
Oh, well, that seems like a fun job. Fine. So what's this Tredegar Ironworks I've been hearing about?
Well, you see, it was the largest employer of slave labor during the Civil War. They built cannons and iron things for the Confederacy. It was also considered a nice place for slaves to work.
Really, that's a good thing. At least they're doing, good things for slaves. So what kind of hours did you work, and how many days a week?
Well, you see, we worked basically 18 hours a day.
Well, that's a nice job.
7 days a week.
Good pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pay, but we didn't get paid.
We got paid.
Exactly, good pay.
Lots of corn.
So what's the difference between urban and rural slaves?
Well, rural slaves usually worked in plantations or factories or mines, but urban slaves, they usually worked in houses.
That's nice.
Did maybe little gardening and stuff.
What's the gang system and a driver?
The gang system was a system of a bunch of slaves that were chained together, and they had to do a task. And the driver would be a white man behind us with a whip.
Oh, so like that little back there.
Yes, like that little back there.
Crazy white man.
What's the difference of the task system?
See, a task system is where we were given a task we had to complete.
Is that all?
That's it.
And we completed it.
That's simple.
We did.
Yeah.
What are the specific duties slaves held?
Our duties were basically to farm and sometimes even take care of the master's children.
Oh, that seems like a good job. I bet you raped them a few times.
No.
Or other way around, I guess.
Only once or twice.
3 actually.
Well, we're gonna get these guys arrested now for raping little children, and we'll be back in a few minutes with the Harry Dinger Show.
Starbucks double shot espresso drink. Bring on the day.
Welcome back to the Harry Dinger Show. Got my paper now. So, a white slave owner. How did whites feel about blacks going to church?
Well, they approved of it for the most part. Thought it'd give them easier control over owning their slaves. But there was also a bad side. They thought they'd be practicing witchcraft.
Oh, witchcraft. You never want that.
No.
So, what was the purpose and the function of the slave religion? Like, what aspects of slave culture did religion facilitate?
Tribal affair just kind of gave them their own freedom.
That's a nice thing to have.
Yep.
So, slaves. Have you guys ever heard of this Richard Allen guy?
Yes, I've heard of him. Apparently, he was in Philadelphia, and he started a free African church, known as the African Church of Philadelphia. He also died in 1831.
Wow. So you killed him?
No.
You killed him. Why would you kill him?
I did.
Because he was black, I didn't kill him.
I killed him.
Okay, well, I would like to know, how about families? Like, were there any normal families in black life? In the slaves?
Pretty much no, because normally when we got married and we had children, the children were sold off. Only in certain cases were children actually kept.
So you hated your children?
Yes, we hated our children.
That's what I thought. Were there any types of families that existed? At all? Period? Maybe?
Yes, there were some, but that would be on certain plantations that a master would permit that.
Like, I had a child once. His name was Jamal. They took him from me.
But he told me you were gay.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, we are.
So you're making up stories now?
Yes.
You're a horrible person.
Just to the master?
Okay, that's fine with me. So, now I want to ask, this is directed to all three of you. What kind of, rebellions, what kind of resistance happened between the white slave owners and the slaves?
Well, you see, we were always trying to rebel. Like in the case of Nat Turner, we got a group of slaves together and we went around at night killing the white slave masters.
Thought it worked.
So, what do you think about these rebellions, white slave owner?
I don't like them.
Why not?
Because they were
People
trying
have
to...
freedom.
Yeah, but we
People
owned
have
them.
freedom.
We owned them.
People have freedom. You know what? Shut
We
up.
owned them.
Don't even
You
talk.
want me to whip you?
All men are created
You want me
equal.
to whip you?
Bring
Hey,
it.
shut up!
Hey! All men are created equal!
Hey! We're still off to go, guys. Sit down. Alright, so what was this underground railroad I've heard of?
Well, you
Was
see-
it like an actual railroad with trains and stuff? Because that'd be pretty cool to have one going underground.
No,
I mean, it might not work too well though, because it might collapse.
Well, you see, the Underground Railroad was a system of safe houses and routes
Oh, that's
to
nice.
take escaped slaves from the south to the north,
So-
and then eventually into Canada, which was a free territory.
So was there a
I tried
railroad?
that once.
Was there a
But
railroad? there?
I went
No,
down
there
to
was no
Mexico.
railroad.
Why would you go to Mexico?
I didn't know which way I
Let
was
me drink
going.
the water.
Don't drink the water.
Okay.
Who was this Gabriel Presser?
Well, you see, Gabriel Presser led a rebellion. He wanted to lead a rebellion in Richmond, Virginia. And
Based off
He amassed a group of slaves, but it was raining that night and the roads were muddy and they couldn't amass, and they eventually were caught and they got hung.
So they're
Too bad.
pussies.
Yes.
Yes.
Pussies. Okay, who's Denmark Vesey, I've heard of. Had a little conspiracy going on. What's the story on that?
Well, Denmark, he was my good buddy.
Oh.
He created a plan to
really? That's
take over
pretty cool.
the city of Charleston, actually. He was motivated by the Santo Domingo Rebellion. And they got a group of about 9,000 slaves together through talk and stuff. And they got caught, though, by 2 slaves who told. And unfortunately, Denmark was executed.
So those 2 little slaves are
Yes. Berardi. Those killed my boyfriend.
Well, that's nice to know, isn't it? We got a on the show. So what were did slave songs help you guys, cope with the beating and the molesting and raping of the people?
Well, slave songs, they kept our spirits up and they kept us working in a rhythm.
They helped us work together. Like I've been working on the railroad. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of that song?
But the Underground Railroad wasn't a real railroad.
We're not talking about the Underground Railroad.
Just any railroad.
But it wasn't a railroad. You just told me it's a segment of houses.
We're not talking about the Underground Railroad anymore.
Okay. There's Brer Rabbit. I mean, what kind of name is that?
Well, you see, Brer Rabbit was a rabbit created to signify African spirit in America.
Why a rabbit?
I don't know.
Why?
Because we're fast and small.
Okay, well, on that note, we're going to end today's show. My final feeling about this group is that slavery is bad, and that person on the end is not too bright. Not an intelligent person at all.
What are you talking about?
You're stupid.
I'd like to discuss with you the repercussions of the ramifications of the psychological being of us slaves, and describe to you how we really felt.
You mother.
That's the end of the show. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Harry Dinger Show.
Oh, I'm tired of that piece of sucker mother beating, pepperoni nipple, banana son of a cardboard.
Whoa. Are you okay then? You okay?
Mother.
Okay, we're done. We're done. I quit.